Hello guys, this time I want to talk with you about our UPBOLT products that we got for Cobra Siege and Cobra Adder crossbows. And the reason for this video to come out is that we got different products on our journey, and now some of those are deprecated and some of you are asking like, where is that product? And so right time to say what we have and what we don't have, right? So two main things are those long bolt repeating magazines for Cobra Adder and for Cobra Siege. Those are pretty similar. You see actually rear parts are identical. The parts which are differs are frontal parts, and the reason for that is that there is different ways for fixating them to the crossbow, and I'll tell about those a bit more separately. Okay, and finally we've got here Cobra Adder standard magazine extender for 8 bolt to be stacked here. And also we have small items here for Siege. So we have a Picatinny extender here. That's in case if you don't like standard bipod and you want something to be attached here, some custom bipod. And if you are a fan of authentic look of your Siege, you can use this bipod adapter here, and it's bending, so it's kind of more functional than it's out of stock. And now I think we can go a bit in details for each of those products. So let's start with some of those. Okay, so let's take a look now on Cobra Adder standard magazine extender, and let's go through the parts which we got here. So first of all, we got here this top extension for the magazine, so you can put more bolts into the magazine. Then we have this top locker, which is now very convenient, so it goes fully forward, and you can, as you see, when you put this quick loader, so there is no interference with bolts at the frontal part. So the next part, which I intentionally made of red color here, this is the frontal part, which as you can see is locking the bolts so those don't go too much forward. And the last thing is which you don't see, but there is this anti-jammer, so it prevents the bolt to go too much backward, and you will have consistent shooting experience. So let's now put this 8 bolt in, let's lock it, and yes, that's pretty much it. So we will provide it from carbon fiber material, and maybe from PCTG as well. Let's see what will be bigger demand for. Okay, so Eco Archery Cobra Adder magazine, rear part, frontal part. Rear part is very easy to fixate. You just need to remove stock magazine, and then you have to use 2 side screws and 1 top screw, and then it sits as it's supposed to be. And frontal part, you have 2 replacement screws on each side and fixate it. So for frontal part, there is an interesting thing here. We have reserved rail here for additional bipod adapters that we're gonna provide you as a separate part. So loading process looks very straightforward. So you just rotate frontal fixator. You have a color indicator here that you cannot shoot here because the bolts are caged down below here, and then with 1 finger you can move the top locker, and you can add more bolts, and you should always move this fixator back. So after that you are good to shoot. Also we have here anti-jammer. This anti-jammer, you cannot see it, but it's small elastic item here which prevents the bolts to go back and jam. So you always have this consistent experience but of course you always need to still use those precautions. So every shot you need to check the bolt is in the right position. That's it about Adder. Okay, so now Cobra Siege 8-bolt magazine review, and you have here this rear part. This one is not included in the set, but the magazine itself, it's easy to fixate. You have also 3 screws, 2 side screws and 1 top screw here. You need to remove red dot before that. And frontal parts, as you see, are removed by unscrewing this bolt. And the frontal part consists of 2 parts. So, top part, which is fixating bolts, and the bottom part, which actually gives you 2 extension Picatinny rails for any custom devices you want to put on this crossbow. So now, if you want to reload, first thing to do, you need to rotate frontal locker, and then you push the top locker by finger here, and you can add more bolts from the top of the magazine, and then you move this frontal locker back, and you're ready to shoot. And also here you have this small elastic anti-jammer, so also your shooting experience would be very good. It should not jam. Indeed, you still need to check that the bolt is in the right position. That's a simple procedure precaution. And the bolts are R series bolts from EK Archery, and we also provide you instructions how to check vanes. So whether you're using EK Archery bolts or third-party bolts, you always need to check vanes position. It's straightforward procedure, and we are giving this procedure to you when you buy the magazine. Okay, so let me tell you about those 2 add-ons for Cobra Siege. And we got here a Picatinny extender, which is supposed to be fixated here. And the reason for that item is that if you are not happy with original bipod, which is not bending, so you might want to add here some custom bipod, or maybe you even don't want this bipod, you want some device to be connected here. So this is an extension point which you can use. And other item is this bipod adapter, as you can see it, and it gives you possibility to fixate this bipod in the right position. We're gonna give you a fixation screw here, and everything that you need to put this bipod in the right place, including instructions, screws, hexagons, so whatever you need.